Hello everyone. Today let us see some basic formatting of bar chart. This is the financial data. If you don't have this data, you can go to this help section, and in the examples you can find this sample data set. Click on it and you could load the sample data. For now, since we have loaded, let us go to the formatting part. You can see in the first row these are various kinds of bar charts. For an example, I'll take the stacked bar chart. Okay, in the stacked bar chart, in y-axis we need some categorical column. Let us take country. Okay, in x-axis we need the numerical data. Let us uh, see how the sales is varying over, like, with respect to country. Here we have got a simple bar chart, horizontal bar chart with no formatting, and we can see the x-axis with values and y-axis with categories. Let us go to formatting options. In the first option we could see this y-axis. Okay, if you click over it, you can see the first section as values, second section as title. Values, these are the values which you could see in the y-axis. You could change the font of it. You can change it to bold. You can see these various kinds of uh, formattings. So it is Arial black. You could increase its size. You could make it bold. You could make it italic. You could underline it. You may even change the color. Suppose that I want to change into this maybe blue color. No, let us change it to red color. Okay, and you could even customize it based upon the, like, conditions you want. We'll get back to this conditional formatting in the later videos. Let us come to the title. Title, it auto picks up by sum of sales by country, since we are calculating the sales based upon the country. What we can do is we can change the title text as country wise sales. Show title only. This is the style. You could change the font. You could change the size. You could change the size as country wise sales. You could make it bold. You could color it. These are these are the changes with respect to y-axis. If we look into x-axis, we have this minimum and maximum values. Suppose that here the minimum values are 0 million, okay, to the maximum it is around 25 million. And suppose that I want to see the values from 15 million. Okay, what I could do is 15, this is from 15 million. But these kind of things would be misleading. Until unless we need specifically, do not prefer this. Let us make it as like, let us reset to default. Similarly, uh, we can filter the values based upon the maximum values. These are calculated on linear basis. If we want on logarithmic basis, we can click on logarithmic basis. If you do not identify what are the values of it, you can click on data labels. Here you could see the logarithmic values. Of course, these are very very high, but you could understand the meaning of it, like what is the difference between linear and logarithmic scale. Suppose that we want the invert range of it. Okay, we can invert this bar chart to the right side. Okay, and let us get back to the normal values. What you could see is values over the x-axis. You could change your font. You could change your font, increase your size. I need color as red. You could even increase or decrease the decimal values. Maybe I need two decimals. You could change the title. Here it is sum of sales. What I could, by default it is sum of sales. I could just put sales. I could bold it and I could increase the size. So here are the like basic formatting things with respect to x-axis. Let us go to the grid lines. Grid lines, currently you are unable to see the grid lines, the vertical grid lines, because the color is so dim. Let us keep it to black. Let us keep it to dashed. Here you could see the vertical lines. I could increase the width of it. I could make it solid. I could make it dotted. As you want, you could change even color. Okay, and suppose that I keep it dashed. If you want these x-axis values to be to be in the slider like this, you could see until you can use this slider to see the values. But suppose that you want to see from 10 million, you could slide it using the zoom slider. Okay, you can even customize it. Like suppose that you want slider labels, you can turn it on. When you could see the slider labels on, if you don't want the x-axis labels, you can turn it off so that you don't get confused. Okay, and let us go to the other formatting things. These are the bars, color coded bars. Here you could see the default is blue color. Here the show all option, it would show the color of each and every country. Suppose that for Canada I want this color, I could change it to different color. Suppose that for France I need this color, you could change it to different various colors. Suppose that you want to adjust the spacing between them. Here in the spacing option, under bars, you could increase or decrease spacing like this. Okay, suppose that you want to highlight these data labels for all. You can choose their position, whether they are inside, whether they are outside, or inside center, or inside base. You could click on values. You could make them bold, or you can change their display into thousands. You may change it to millions. Let us keep it to millions. You can increase or decrease their decimal places, and you can put a background. Suppose that I want text in white, background in black, and I want to decrease the transparency of it. You could highlight like this. You have a plot area background. This is your plot area background. If you can use any picture to fit your background. I have some pictures. Suppose that I want this sales. I could click open it. I want this to fit in it, so my background is fit in the plot area. If I want little transparency, I could do like this. So this is the plot area background, and these are few basic formatting things in with respect to bar chart. Let us go to it is with respect to visual. Let us go to general. In properties, we have this size and position. With respect to position of it, Usually the area which is uh, in this workspace here, if you could see this, the horizontal and vertical values are 0 0 because the coordinates with respect to it is 0 0. It is the position of it. As you move right side, the horizontal value is changing. As you move to the left, like downward, the vertical side is changing in the position. If you move to the right and in between, you could see the coordinates of size and height with respect to, like, width and height with respect to this size in the when I am increasing the width, you could see the change in width. When I am decreasing, you could see the change in width. When increasing the height, you could see the changes in height. If you want to fix the size of it, you can click on lock aspect ratio. It What it does is it tries to make uniform changes with respect to your requirement. Otherwise, what it does is it could make the chart uh, like be avoid like being avoid of aspect ratio. And we have some advanced options. This responsive option is similar to the aspect ratio. Suppose that it being having the response ratio on, you could see this chart. It Even if I reduce the size, it is maximum trying to respond accordingly to show the true values of everything. Suppose that if we turn off the chart, it will uh, behave in a different way. But here in the bus, it is since it is single bar chart, it is absolutely fine. You could explore more about responsive and maintain layer order, or we shall cover it in another video. With respect to title, let us open this title. By default, we have this sum of sales by country. Here we can put again country wise sales, and in y-axis we gave the title as country wise sales. Rather, we can use country, and in here we could use that country wise sales. You could customize the headings. What you could do is increase the size. You could use the font if you want to make it bold. If you want text color, if you want a background color of it, you could horizontally align it. Text wrap is something. Suppose that if I reduce the chart, you could see that it is the heading is in the second line, right? So this is the text wrap. So these are the few things about title. Let us go to effects. Here we have a white background. Suppose that if we want a colored background, you could use this colored background, or you may use this colored background. Okay, and let us if you want to increase the transparency, you could increase it. If you want to decrease the transparency, you could decrease it. This is with respect to the background. With respect to visual border, let us turn it on. We have this color visual border. Suppose that if you want different color, you could use different color. Now we have black color. You could round corners. If I click over round corners, you could see that corner is rounded. In visual border, you could see that the corner is rounded. These corners you could round it off so that it looks a little more beautiful. In effects, let us go to shadow. You can use this shadow option over the sides of the visual. whether it is if you want it outside or inside. You can even show the side of it, like where do you want, bottom, only bottom, or you can customize it. Like in even in custom you have several things, like what is the size, what would the blur pixels, and what would be the angle, distance, and transparency. You could play with it, and you could do the shadow part with respect to the customization. Suppose that I want this background to be like light grayish. I could use this. Okay, and these are the few effects which I could make to a visual. And these are the header icons. These icons which you could see over the visual, these are the header icons. You have a background of it, you can change their background. These are like now blue in color. You can make a border for it as black border. You can change even the icon colors. Suppose that I want some red color icons, it is not visible. Now I want some dark color backgrounds. Okay, this could be the icon size. If you want some transparency, you can click on the transparency. Okay, these are the header icons. Now let us see the next things about these icons. It is on, like, you have the visual information. Suppose you turn it off. Now uh, you could explore these icons. There are more to be understood gradually. So these icons, they play a major role in various use cases. So we have these icons. In tooltips we have this tool. I mean, suppose that if I hover over it, we have this country sum of sales by default. Okay, we can customize it. Customizing it, it would be of better feature for an user to view different values in one single tooltip. So we'll make a new video on tooltips. We can customize the text of the tooltip. We can customize the background of the tooltip. We shall see the tool about tooltips accordingly. Alternate text. Suppose that we do not have the respective values of sales for a country, we can put the, like, alternative text for it. Suppose that we don't have that country but we have the sales values, and we can use alternate text as unknown country, or data not provided, or whatever we want. So like, here we have all the values with, like, all the country values along with sales. We don't have we don't use it currently. So these are like few basic formatting things. Thank you for watching, and let us meet in the next video. Thank you everyone.